over Monday, we're gonna do some front end bits on there. I bought all the parts, so I'm just gonna replace everything. So, guess we'll get right at that. Well, everything wasn't so rotten with it, but whatever. I bought all the parts, so I'm putting all new stuff on. I have the new, I don't know what you call that thing. It's already on the car. Just kind of aligning these to get a rough alignment. So, yeah. I knew these were bad, but the inners aren't too, like they're not terrible. I don't feel bad replacing it all. It was cheap enough. And then do the shocks all at the same time. So yeah, I guess I'll get on that. All right, filling some fluids. Doing the diff is done. Working on the transmission. In case you never have one of these fancy wrenches, this combo works pretty good. It's a little sloppy, but if you double nut, you can open that sucker up. I don't have an Allen key that big, so yeah. So we got the front end all together now. Oh, reminds me, I still got to tighten, put a clamp on there. Shocks are in, springs are in, it's greased up, everything's in there. Still gonna need a front end alignment, but I'll deal with that after. So do this front hose, weld that bracket on. Get that baby out of there. So in order to do that, all right. I guess next on we're gonna go look at this fuel pump. The plan, the gauge I'm getting, I found the specs on it, so it's 240 empty and 33 full. So I'll test this sender, see if it's right. I have a GM fuel tank outside, so I'm gonna grab the pump off and scab it onto here and get it into the car. Hopefully we win at this thing here. Hey, it's a little after 10 o'clock, Tuesday. Gonna try to bleed the brakes on there once I fix that line on that side. Alright, judging by the milky mess that's inside of there, I may not be using this one. Quite a bit of sludge. I think it's cheap. Well, I decided to actually just take it apart, clean it out. Actually cleaned up really good. So, I am going to, I have the master is bench bled. I'm just going to bleed the brakes myself. The Fandangle tool I use for such a thing is that. I think it's just a wood clamp. Works great for squeezing the pedal and holding the pressure. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, well here's my little trick if you're by yourself and you gotta bleed brakes. Put this sucker down. Pump your pedal a few times. Use this rod. Pretty much holds your pedal down, you're good to go. Pop your wheel cylinder. Good to go. As you can see, even if you're by yourself, you should be able to bleed your brakes. I'll give you that pump. There you go. When I'm nearing the end of my bleeding the brakes, I find I'll open my bleeder. I'll open my bleeder first, and then push the pedal down. I find that makes it easier. You actually get the full travel. Okay, we pulled the pump out. So it's a big bugger in here, but I'm guessing it was for like an old Iron Duke. I think that's what was in that Jeep. So it's guaranteed to be low pressure. So what I have is one of these. Not sure what it is. It's pretty much just one of these Chinese fuel pumps. I was going to use a GM one, but I did have this one sitting around. So I'm going to adapt this into there. This is only like, I don't know, 25 bucks or something on eBay. It's got your plug, your fitting, and like your hose, some clamps. So I think we're good. So we're gonna jimmy rig that in there. Unfortunately, I tested the sender. It's not right. I'm gonna muck around, see if I have something else I can use. Because again, I need to have 240 ohm empty and 33 is full. That's what the gauge said that I'm buying. So I don't have that here. I'm gonna muck around on some of my other senders that I have, see if I can find something that's close to that. Here's what we ended up jimmy rigging here. So the pump's clamped on, so it couldn't sit in the original holder. Came with this hose, so I'm using it. I'm just worried it might cut itself, so I just put some rubber around there. I still gotta wire it, but it's still the wrong sender. None of my senders are right, so pretty much waiting till my sender comes in. So that's about all I can do with that at this moment. So I'll set that aside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my lines to go from the what do you call it? I'll show you. I got to make the fuel lines, don't mind that go from the injector down to my lines. So my fuel rail up here, and I'm going to use like the stock push connects. These are like, I always just cut these off of the GM, like the fuel tanks and stuff, and then I reuse them. You can buy this line, Canadian Tire, I don't know where you'd find it in the States, like Rock Auto I think sells it. I guess some of your hardware stores must sell it. I've used some of the line, but it's all molded and it's kind of crappy, so you can buy rolls of this stuff. So then I repurpose it. I repurpose these fittings because they're kind of expensive up here. They're like 20 bucks a piece. So all I do, well, I'll show you. Okay, what I do is I have these are like from fuel tank off a GM, and I just reuse these fittings. What I do is I just heat these suckers up. And then more or less just pull apart. Close. You need a lot of heat. There we go. Didn't burn my fingers. See? Come on, focus. Anyways, they're good. Now I'll just show you how I smash these together when I'm making a new line. So you can buy, I know around here we have like a Canadian Tire, we can buy lengths of this stuff. It's come down, it's not as expensive as it used to be. Anywho, I have this, and then I have my wooden book. Essentially I just sawed this in half. It's my 3/8, 5/16. You kind of line these up, figure how far you got to smash them in. That looks pretty good there. So that'll hold the sucker tight. Give it a little dab. I usually push it and get them started a bit. There might be a tool for this, but a BFG is my tool. So at least you get it started, you can don't know if it's right or wrong, but in the end it works. Looks good. We got our clips back in there. We are good to go. Well, Minty Mint, my gauges came in. I get my fuel gauge in there, be able to get my fuel tank in the car tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to fire yet, but we'll be super close.
Many hours later.
Well, judging by this box of parts, nothing got done. Fuel gauge is still here. A couple buddies came out. I helped a friend of mine work on getting an LS motor ready. I made fun of a buddy of mine, Rolly, while he was working on his truck. It's kind of the normal practice around here. I do want to do a big shout out to Waylon Wires. He's plugged my channel a bunch of times, and I want to do a big thank you to that feller. I want to thank you guys for checking out my videos. If you like these videos and you're not already, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be great. Hit that little bell. Again, thanks for checking my stuff out. I'll see you next round.